Homer's Adventures Through the Windshield Glass is the 22nd episode of the 34th season of The Simpsons. This is the end of my Simpsons binge watching. I have watched multiple episodes of The Simpsons every day for about half a year now. And season 34 landed on Disney Plus a couple of days ago. I've reached the end of it. I was really hoping that this would be an amazing episode because I don't know when I'm going to be able to watch a new episode of The Simpsons next, however long it takes for season 35 to arrive. Honestly, it was okay. It's not the best. It was very creative, but I didn't really love it. This is directed by Bob Anderson, and it focuses on the fact that Homer is texting while driving, and he's angry texting. He's angry at Marge, and because he's not looking where he's going, he crashes his car. And for the majority of the episode, he is flying through the air. And obviously in very, very, very slow motion. And because Maggie's toy, Goobie-Woo, was in the car with him, this toy comes to life while he's soaring through the air and teaches him some things that he didn't know about, opens his eyes up to things to help him work out why he's angry and to kind of shift the way he's feeling. And I liked the message in that. Well, there are two messages, of course. The first one is don't text while driving. And the second is that anger may not be the most helpful emotion. And if you work through why you're feeling the way you're feeling and look at the situation from a different perspective or gain more knowledge about it, you might not feel that anger anymore. But apart from it being a good message or having some good messages in it, I didn't love it. And part of the reason for that is because I don't like the character of Goobie-Woo. And I just didn't care for the character. It sings this song about Marge that I really didn't like, and that part of it just didn't appeal to me. I can appreciate how creative it is. Goobie-Woo is voiced by Lizzo. The vocal performance is, of course, very good, but the actual character I didn't like. And I didn't really like what it brought into it, and I didn't really care for the direction it took either. There were some funny moments. For example, well, it's a spoiler, so I'll save that for just now, but I'll explain in a moment one bit that I actually did like. But it's not so much that I didn't like the episode, it's that I didn't really feel a lot of it was very well done. I think it's a really good idea. I think we have some really great messages. And as I said, I do appreciate that they've put a lot of creativity into this. Unfortunately, a lot of the creativity is just not that fascinating. It's not that interesting. So if they'd maybe done something different with it, it could have been really good. But unfortunately, I didn't like Goobie-Woo as a character. I don't like what the character brought to it. The messages the character was delivering, yes. But I kind of wish there'd been a different way of delivering those messages for Homer, and a different way for Homer to assess the situation and work out what he was feeling. But other than that, I can't hate it. I didn't hate it. Would I watch it again? Maybe. I don't know, it's difficult. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. But I do like how creative it was, and it is a little bit different, and there are some great messages in it. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't really know how I feel about it. Certainly, I don't think it was a strong episode to end season 34 on, but at the same time, there are many worse episodes, so I know it could be a lot worse. Ultimately, I'm devastated that I've come to the end of my Simpsons journey for now. It's not the strongest ending, but it could be worse. So, a tiny spoiler, the bits that I did like. I liked seeing Homer, well, this isn't a spoiler, but I liked seeing Homer floating through the air. I liked the pacing with that. But what I didn't like, and this is a spoiler, kind of, is when we saw him impaled on the spike. Now, actually, visually, I loved it. I thought it was awesome and looked really gruesome, and I really enjoyed that. But I didn't like the fact that that happened, because it just didn't seem to make a lot of sense and pulled me out of the main narrative of Homer experiencing all of this while flying through the air, because it kind of felt like we were then dealing with alternate timelines, and that aspect of it didn't work very well. But what I did like was Homer in hell. Not so much Homer being in hell, but the characters that were there, and the concept that some people who went to hell were actually going to heaven now because, society has changed, and what we deemed hell-worthy back in the day is absolutely not the case now, and also the fact that some people were being moved from heaven down to hell because we learn about things about their character, about their personality after they've died that we deem unacceptable. And I just thought it was a really interesting concept, and it was done quite well. So I'm completely divided with how I feel about this. On the one hand, there are some really great bits. On the other, there are some bits that I just really didn't like. So I guess it's a pretty average episode. In balance, Homer's Adventures Through the Windshield Glass is the last new Simpsons episode that I had to watch. Devastated about that. Not the worst way to end the season.